Hello everyone, welcome to Let's Learn con Maria Angel. And today I bring you a super fun video that is going to help you improve your pronunciation. That's right. We're going to be looking at the 5 most common tongue twisters. Yes, we're going to do some tongue twisters here in today's lesson. But what are tongue twisters? Let me tell you. Well, a tongue twister, it's a phrase or a sentence that is difficult to pronounce. It has many sounds that are similar or maybe the same sound in a sequence, and they are hard to pronounce correctly, and even more so when you are trying to pronounce them quickly. Tongue twisters are designed to be super helpful when you are going to learn pronunciation or you want to improve the pronunciation of any language that you're learning. Take for instance, in Spanish, we can say tres tristes tigres tragan trigo en un trigal. For me, that is easy now because I've been saying that my whole life. But if you try to say it fast, tres tristes tigres tragan trigo, that's hard. Okay, so for today's lesson, that's what we're going to do. We're going to try 5 different tongue twisters and you are going to say them with me. So let's get started. Let's start with number 1. And I'm going to be reading them from my phone because I cannot remember them, okay? So bear with me. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? So that is the first tongue twister. Now I'm going to try to say this tongue twister as fast as I can, and that's how you should be trying to say it. First, say word by word, but then try to say it fast. So I'm going to go ahead. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers? I almost got it. One more time. Peter Piper picked a... I can do it. Peter Piper picked... Oh my God. Peter Piper, it's so hard. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? Yes! I did it! Fantastic. All right, now you try it. Try it as many times as you can until you do it perfectly. Okay, even if you have to try it several days. Now let's move on to the second tongue twister. Ooh, this one is a good one. Let's read. Betty bought butter, but the butter was bitter. So Betty bought better butter to make the bitter butter better. Okay, now about this tongue twister, there are some variations of this. So I try to pick the one that is easiest for you and for me. But you can go ahead and look for the most difficult versions if you want and try them out. But for today's sake, I just decided to do this one. Now, I'm going to try it out. Betty bought butter, but the butter was bitter, so Betty bought better butter to make the bitter butter better. That was easy. Now, let's say it faster. Betty bought butter, but the butter was bitter, so Betty bought better butter to make the bitter butter better. Ooh, that one is easy. Betty bought butter, but the butter was bitter, so Betty bought better butter to make the bitter butter better. Yes, I rocked this one. All right, now you try it. Betty bought butter, but the butter was bitter, so Betty bought better butter to make the bitter butter better. You see, that one is easy. Now let's take a look at number 3. And this one is a very popular one, but I have never been able to come around it and say it correctly or fast enough. Okay, but I'm going to try it. I missed this one. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Now let's try it. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Okay, that was good. Not so fast, but let's try it again. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Ha! I did it! Now, the tricky thing here is that this tongue twister, because it's a question, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood, has an answer, has a reply to this question. So let's take a look at the reply. Whew. It says, he would chuck his wood as much as he could and chuck as much wood as a woodchuck would if a woodchuck could chuck wood. Now I'm gonna try to say it as fast as I can. He would chuck he would as much as he could, and chuck as much wood as a woodchuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood. Okay, that wasn't fast enough. As you can see, I was slowing down. I was slowing down because it was difficult. He would, oh my God, so hard. He would chuck he would as much as he could, and chuck as much wood as a woodchuck would chuck. One more time. He would chuck he would as much as he could, and chuck as much wood as a woodchuck would if a woodchuck could chuck wood. Okay, so I think that's the fastest I can. I cannot say like Betty but butter. I can't. One more time, just to see if I can do it. He would chuck he would as much as he would chuck he would as much as he could, and I can't. Let's try it again. He would chuck he would as much as he could, and chuck as much wood. No. He would chuck he could as much as he could, and chuck as much wood as a woodchuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood. Okay, I give up. I can't say this one. You shouldn't give up so easily as I did, but yeah, I will not make this video too long. So you try. Now let's move on to the next tongue twister, and the next one has a lot of R's in it. Okay, something like this. Which wristwatches are Swiss wristwatches? Prepare your tongues for this one because it's not going to be an easy one. Which wristwatches are Swiss wristwatches? Which wristwatches are which wristwatches are Swiss which wristwatches are Swiss wristwatches? Here the key is that the letter W is not pronounced in wristwatch and wristwatches or in Swiss, but only at the beginning in which. That's the way that we pronounce which wristwatches are Swiss wristwatches. Swiss, the transition between Swiss and wristwatches is the one that I find difficult. I don't know, you tell me, comment which part was more difficult for you in this tongue twister. Which wristwatches are Swiss wristwatches? Which wristwatches are Swiss wristwatches? Woo, that was a good one. Okay, so let's take a look at the last tongue twister for today. In this next tongue twister, we're going to be practicing the t and the f sounds. Listen, thumb through team, 3 thumbtacks. Thumb through team, 3 thumbtacks. Now I'm going to try to say this as fast as I can. Listen. Whew. Thumb through team, 3 thumbtacks. Oh my God, I think I'm spitting everywhere. Thumb through team, 3 thumbtacks. 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 Thumb through team, 3 thumb through team. Oh my God. Thumb through team, 3 thumbtacks. I think I did it. Thumb through team, 3 thumbtacks. Thumb through team, 3 I can't do this. Thumb through team, 3 thumbtacks. That's the fastest I can. Now, a bonus. Yes. Yes. 1 bonus for you. Ooh, this one. It's a good one. Listen. If a dog chooses shoes, whose shoes does he choose? If a dog chooses shoes, whose shoes does he choose? Whew, okay, so I think I can understand the question, so maybe I don't need to read it. If a dog chooses shoes, whose shoes does he choose? Let's try it again. If a dog chooses shoes, whose shoes does he choose? Oh, good. No, I have to read it. I have to read this. If a dog chooses shoes, whose shoes does he choose? If a dog chooses shoes, whose shoes does he choose? If a dog chooses shoes, whose shoes does he choose? So you see the movement of your lips, or the shape that your lips have to do this sound. If a dog chooses shoes, whose shoes does he choose? It's the same sound. And the S. If a dog chooses shoes, whose shoes does he choose? All right, so that would be it for today. Please tell me, which tongue twister did you find more interesting and more difficult or more challenging for you? Because for me, it was definitely the reply to how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood. Oh, now I remember it. Yes, finally, it paid off. All right, so remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Please like and share this video if you found some value in it, and I will see you in another video. Goodbye. Oh, wait, and follow me on my social media. I have Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And don't forget to click on the bell so that you can get all notifications of my video. Now I can say goodbye. See you next time. Bye-bye.